Cameras and welcome to Tinks Invest. Talk about investing, finance, and professional development. For today's episodes only, the investment top today will be Ethereum ticker ETH. So it's my second posting today. Respect to recording time of 4:45 p.m. on Eastern time. Ethereum's current trade $3,406, up about 5.18% so far. In addition to Ethereum being green today, across the whole crypto market is trending more of a normalization side of the spectrum. With respect to Bitcoin, is currently just kind of trading on a sideways fashion, up about 0.02%. Dogecoin up about 1.63%. Cardano's kind of normalizing, down about 0.81%. While respectively, Solana seems like it's cooling off significantly from the surge that we experienced in today, right? Hitting all the way to the $133 mark. And I believe on some exchange even hit about $135 mark. It seems like we are selling quite drastically at the moment, down about 1.17%. You could see that huge correction that we're seeing, people taking profits, right? Whatever goes up really, really fast, come down just as fast. And I hope that people have been, focusing on the technicals, using the fundamentals, and not chase the pump that we saw today, because this is an extremely severe loss if you bought at the top, obviously, right? With respect to XRP, up about 3.84% so far. So specifically for Ethereum, I've been collecting some news ever since lunchtime. I spent some good time with my dad today. I also get a haircut, so I'm not wearing a hat today. And with respect to some of the news, I'll say it's a collection of relatively positive news, more media affectation around the NFT commercializations and adoptions, globally. And with respect to the first one coming out 2 hours ago from Decrypt, talking about an NFT transaction for about $338,000 in Ethereum, right? But however, this is an unfortunate event that the purchaser found out that this Banksy NFT was actually a fake one, right? So the scammer was, obviously that he or she has to mandatorily return the funds back to the purchaser. So obviously the news around NFT adoptions, cultivation, if you may, on a commercialization front. Seems like it's a new flex among the community, right? Especially for young, ambitious individuals that, used to be the Rolex or the Patek or the AP or the Lamborghinis or the Ferraris or, driving a Rolls Royce. Now it seems like it's, the rich people would like to flex with these NFTs, right? These are cool JPEG images, I guess, right? With respect to another news coming out from CNBC about 3 hours ago, talking about with respect to two individuals, and they're relatively young yet precocious ones, 14-year-old and 9-year-old siblings earn over $30,000 a month mining cryptocurrencies. So these are obviously very smart young individuals. I hope, I wish that I was like them when I was their age, but it seems like they are, precocious with their parents' support. To cultivate them to have such good head on their shoulders, if you may. So definitely great. With respect to other news, talking about with respect to off-chain labs, raises $120 million to hide Ethereum shortcomings with its Arbitrum products, if I'm not mistaken. So it seems like obviously another institution, off-chain labs, obviously, have raised a relatively sizable amount, right, to further improve the value proposition of Ethereum, or the lack thereof that we're still currently trying to cultivate. So great stamp of approval, great gravitas onto, the long-term value for Ethereum, and that's great for us, for us long-term investors ultimately, right? And then the last one, this is not really worth mentioning. This is just another regurgitation news talking about Stephen Curry again, right? He purchased $180,000 worth of NFT, and the picture is basically a JPEG image of a monkey in a suit, right? And the monkey has like a blue tone fur, I guess, or skin, with a camel or like a sand or like a brown color suit. So a relatively waspy one. Interesting that Stephen Curry's on the hype as well, right? So moving on back to the technical analysis specifically, right? We can see that with respect to the surge that we saw today, we were trying to get above to the $3,485 level, which is the level of next substantiveness. If we technically look at it, that's the next level on the green line, right? It seems like we were trying to get there, but we couldn't get there, right? And the next level, if we broke it today, wouldn't technically be anywhere around like the $38,000 mark, right? And that's the next leap up. So if we are for some reason have another bullish momentum because of more media affectation or manipulations from the whales, the next technical signal would be reaching to the $38,000, or to be more specific, 3830. Okay. But that's a relatively big leap, right? And on top of the fact that we have been enduring this surge for quite some time now. Also, another thing that we are looking at right now is that we are forming some sort of an upward wedge at the same time, right? And upward wedge is never a good thing, right? So we have to really watch how we are going to be consolidating or oscillate going forward, because if the apex is reaching, and we still have technically about over 25 days left until we hit this technical apex that is forecasting that we'll have a sell-off from there, if this is an upward wedge, obviously, right? It seems like, again, please correct me if I'm not correct, right? It seems like we are forming a more of an upward triangle here, right? And I hope I'm not being crazy here, but it seems like today it definitely shifted the triangle even further upward, right? So that's something we have to be mindful of, right? However, something interesting that we're seeing right now is that on the MACD, we are forming a scoop, right? And if the MACD line crosses the signal line subsequently, right, it will be another bullish momentum, right? And we cross for some reason. We have to understand RSI where it's gonna be. If we are still gonna be overbought, the cross section, it wouldn't be durating for a long time, because you need to have the the momentum for us to get there. But knowing the fact that we are pretty much overbought right now, so I think we might cross. We might come back up to the 3,475 or 3,500. But can we go up all the way to the 3,850? That's something we have to be cautious of, right? And because if we do that, the sell-off will be even more prompt than we are expecting, because the upward wedge will subsequently push this line upward a little bit. I'm going to keep this there right now for now because we haven't got there yet. And the apex would technically form closer, so the sell-off should be even more imminent, because this line, the bottom line, would technically have to cross up even faster. So the timing might shift upward if we are surging in more of a near term with this golden cross. Okay, so something to be mindful of. It's definitely an interesting setup. It's definitely a little bit more complex than how it looks like, But overall, I would say short term wise, it looks positive because we are slowly forming this cross. However, you have to adjust this with the RSI, which seems like it's overbought still. Also, at the same time, we are forming this is again, please correct me if I'm wrong, a speculative upward wedge, right? So it seems like 2 out of 3 is negative, 1 is positive because of this cross, right? And we have to also encapsulate that we have been surging for so far. And how substantive are the media affectation that we've been hearing so far? These NFT adoptions. Would this be just like another hype? You know what I'm trying to say? So something to be mindful of. Again, I'm not a financial advisor, and I don't have to. I'm not supposed to be either. I'm just someone doing what I'm doing. So with respect to the cheat sheet that we always focus on, right? It seems like we are very comparable to the complacency zone that we're seeing right now, and we will see a last hurrah. The latch one surge before this huge dump, right? So again, I'm just reminding you guys, reminding myself technically, right? What is the fundamentals? What section of the market cycle are we part of right now, right? And that translates into the methodology, the entry price that I've identified for myself. 3,000, 2,750, 2,450, right? And these are levels that are the more safe and more risk averse for my perspective, and these are for your reference only. But if you insist on buying today, which makes sense, I get it. You want to be holding for a long term, so why not buy now? Because ultimately the price level is going to be so much higher than where we at right now. That buy it currently, but just have that cautious mindset that you might potentially see a sell off coming, right? So 12-month price target 9,800, 3.3 times your money from here. And hopefully this is helpful. And one last reminder for you guys, and I'm probably gonna be doing this on every single video from now on, is that there are a lot of scammers on the channel, on the comment section. And again, I don't have any Patreons. I don't really use Instagram for this. I have an Instagram personally, but I don't use or post anything related to investing at all. Nor do I have any WhatsApp or like a text. I see even like phone numbers. People try to pretend to be me with like my icon and everything, speaking to my to my friends on YouTube, try to scam them or try to cheat them. That's unacceptable behavior, and I am working with YouTube to correct these situations. um it's one of the you know um counterproductive things on what we're trying to do here, right? We try to help one another, not try to scam people, and I really do not appreciate these people trying to utilize my work, which is free, and try to charge people for money, and also try to misrepresent themselves to pretend to be me. That's even more unacceptable, right? So hopefully this is helpful, but really appreciate you, and feel free to give me a shout if you have any questions again, and stay tuned for what's coming up. Take care.